I'm going to be the first to say that I'm not going to talk trash on the Xbox Series S or the Xbox Series X. I'm not going to talk trash on them. That is not what I'm here to do. But I was wrong about how to go about this current console generation. And I think that the reason why I was wrong is because I was very, very blinded by the fact that there is a lot of value that comes with having something like the Xbox Series S. Now, I'm not going to say that buying an Xbox Series X is a waste of money. The reason why the Xbox is not a waste of money because it's a very powerful machine. It is the most powerful Xbox that we have to date. The Xbox Series X, by a long shot, outperforms just about any PC that is out there under $1,000. That means for half the price, you are able to get a PC, a powerful PC, the Xbox Series X. Now, the Xbox Series S on that matter is just as impressive. It is not just as powerful. By no means is it just as powerful. You can just look at the specs alone. It is not just as powerful, but the Xbox Series S is a beautiful machine that can get most of the gaming done. And I will still stand by it more than ever. I think that if you were to go out and purchase an Xbox today and really put the money somewhere, the Xbox Series S is the place to go for multiple reasons. Let's talk about reason number one. Reason number one is over the past 2.5 years, we've seen a tremendous amount of prolonging of the next games coming out. There's been a lot of delays. There's been a lot of issues with development because of what happened over these past few years. There's been a lot of issues with getting games out on time because of delays in production. There have also been a lot of performance issues that we've seen because of optimizations with multiple different generations of gaming. The Xbox One still being supported, the PlayStation 4 still being supported in a lot of games, and so on and so forth. PC, I'm not really going to talk about because unfortunately, it seems that PC is being left on the back burner. We can use Jedi Survivor as the example here. We're seeing that there was a tremendous amount of performance that's being left on the table because optimization for the console is being taken as a priority, specifically because consoles are in the homes of most gamers, whereas getting PCs, especially PCs that are powerful enough to output the proper resolution to actually make the gaming experience enjoyable, are really, really hard to come by. Graphics cards are unrealistically expensive, and why should a developer spend time working on a game that's going to have to be down-res and all of the settings are going to be pushed lower than a Series S just to get it working on a PC when they can just develop for the Series S and worry not about the PC? It's unfortunate that that's the case. And is it right or wrong? It's really hard to say. I'm not in that development, right? I'm not in that world. So we're seeing that the Xbox and PlayStation are being prioritized. Nintendo doesn't even deserve a mention in this because Nintendo never really plays by the rules. You're going to play a game on Nintendo, you're going to have a good time. You're going to play a good game, such as Advance Wars, which is incredibly beautiful and wonderfully designed. Mega Man, great. These two games that just came out. Kirby games, awesome. Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, great. Breath of the Wild having some performance issues. Comes down to which console is going to grant you the experience that you are expecting, especially in 2023 with game consoles being out for multiple years now. And as I started doing this, and as I started playing video games back in 2020 again, and really started devoting a lot of my time to researching the gaming industry and understanding what's going to be the best for the consumer, I realized something. I realized the Xbox Series S is unbelievably valuable because you can pay $299 at the time. It was $299 flat. Now you can get it for $250, even lower, $220. You pay $250 to $300 for an Xbox Series S. You have Game Pass Ultimate as a thing you subscribe to, and you're able to access just so many games. You just play games all day long and you're good to go, and you don't really have to purchase any games. And since it's a digital only console, and all you need to do is pick up one of these guys, a little beautiful external hard drive. Now I think SSDs are pretty much the way to go, but still, you pick up an external hard drive, you're good. You're set. You're solid. You're going to have a great time. You're going to be able to play plenty of games and you're good to go. And in 2023, in 2020, people were losing their jobs. People were sent home. People were just sitting in their houses wondering, how am I going to communicate with my friends? And all the gamers were like, yo, dude, get one of these, and let's go. And now communities were built rapidly on. And when you're losing your job, and you don't know if you're going to get another paycheck, spending $500 to $600, $700 to $800 for scalper prices for a console, you're like, it's not worth it. So the Series S was the way to go, and I understand it. I totally still think that the Series S is unbelievably valuable. And now as time has gone on, I'm like, well, the Series X might be a more valuable option, maybe is more a viable option for Xbox gamers because we're starting to get more performance hungry games. We're starting to get stuff like, Jedi Survivor that just came out this last week, or different games. We have Starfield coming out. Now, this was in the middle of 2021 too. Starfield was supposed to be out, okay? And we're like, oh man, we really, really need to get Series X now. Because it makes sense. Plague Tale Requiem runs like dog crap on a Series S, right? And some of these games really just don't look good on the Series S. Now, will the Series S be supported? Yes. At a lower resolution? Yes. At a lower frame rate? Yes. Getting into 2023, we see more games are coming out. We see more things are being released on the PlayStation and Xbox side by side. And we're coming down to player experience. Now, if we remove ourselves from the devotion that people have to a specific console, but buying just a console because of the company, it's ridiculous. And if anyone's like, oh, I'm only Xbox, is Xbox through and through. Guys, companies will fail you. There is zero guarantee that company is gonna run the way that they always run. You need to look at gaming consoles as a gateway into the games that you wanna play. That is all they are. And then we can get into a couple of nuances from there. We have history with the console, okay? History. By history, I mean games purchased. How many games do you have with the console? With my PlayStation 5, I've been running PlayStation since the beginning. So when they first opened the store and started giving away games with PS Plus, I have gotten a PS Plus game every single month since it started, okay? That's a lot of games. Will I play half of them? No. Will I even play 70% of them? No, but I just have a lot of time there. So PlayStation does have that initial investment. Now I don't have that with Xbox, and I understand that people do use Xbox the same way, and I'm not discrediting that. But that's one thing that you need to consider when you're looking at the consoles. Next, another thing that's really, really important is power. Which one is going to grant you more options and power, whatever. Well, we can honestly say that this generation, both of them are extremely close. Some would say, oh, one's better than the other. No. Across the board, no. The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X look the same, okay? They look the same. And for most of you who do not have a $1,500 TV to pixel peep, it's really not gonna make a difference. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, and this is probably the big defining factor, is where are your friends? If all of your friends are on Xbox, it's probably gonna be best to be on Xbox. If all of your friends are on PlayStation 5, it's probably gonna be on PlayStation 5, okay? But crossplay has become more and more of a common thing. And with the exception of game chat getting kind of wonky, you should be fine with the implementation of Discord, which is a very, very good implementation. Very, very good. Okay? You have a bunch of friends on Discord, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. It's fine. You just route it, you're good to go. Okay? Those 3 things are the external factors of looking at a system. Honestly, I think that a lot of people are looking at the Series S, Series X situation. They're like, the Series S is in trouble. The Series X is in trouble. The Series X is in trouble for multiple reasons. And here's the last thing that the Series S, Series X debate. The last thing that I think is really important to understand is we got services, right? And people are like, oh yeah, the Game Pass is better than PS Plus. I was in that camp. I said that. I can no longer say that Game Pass is better than PS Plus because they are, sure, releasing day one, but it devalues the games. These games are releasing day one on the Series S. They tank. They have so much excitement, and then there's drop-off because there's no obligation to finish. There's a commitment level that happens when you purchase a game. There's also intrinsic value with a game that you've purchased fully. When you are given a game as a part of a subscription service, there's just a part of that feels cheap. I do not feel like I'm being given a product as a part of my subscription service that really is worth its weight. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Series X feels like it is lacking despite being so powerful. The Series X is. The value proposition drops significantly because it may have that power, but where PlayStation 5 picks up the additional is, one, you can get an all digital version for $100 less than a Series X if you want to go down that road and just expand your storage. But if you want to go disc, it's the same price. Let's just say same price. Where the PlayStation 5 really takes it to the next level is with one thing. This right here. The DualSense controller has become the most immersive handheld controller device that exists in gaming right now. VR, of course, is its own thing, but I'm not even going to touch VR because their VR stuff is great and all, but here's the deal. It's still far from being available to the public. This controller, despite whether you're a symmetrical or asymmetrical thumbstick kind of person, me personally, I prefer this, but that's because I grew up with it. Haptic feedback paired with adaptive triggers and the center speaker and touchpad creates a gaming experience that cannot be matched. Some people looking at it as gimmicks. I dare you to try it. When you're playing Hogwarts Legacy, if you have a Series X and a PlayStation 5, and you're like, well, I got to figure out where to buy that because that's not available on Game Pass, so I'm going to have to buy it. You can purchase it for the Xbox because you decided that that's the library you want to go with, sure. But if we're going to take that out and the library doesn't matter, and it's not a multiplayer game, at least yet, so it doesn't matter about where your games are playing it. Pulling the trigger halfway and feeling the resistance while you're casting a spell, great. When you're popping just shots out of your wand and you hear out of the speaker the vibrations while you're rotating around and you hear different sounds, the cats, the flowers making sounds, and as you turn, you feel the vibration actually physically change from the bottom tip of your controller up to the top, over to the right and to the left, and all this different stuff. You now are given an opportunity to go, I can purchase this game for $70 on the Xbox and have a great experience. Or I can purchase it for $70 on PlayStation and have the same experience with the addition of immersion through the very device that I'm interacting with the video games with. It is unbelievable. Now, continuing on to a game like Jedi Survivor that just released. This just came out on Friday. Jedi Survivor plays exactly the same as on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. If you got it for PC, you probably submitted for a refund because it plays like dog crap, okay? When you are playing the game on the Xbox, you're playing it the same way. You have a wonderful controller that you're used to. You're gonna have a good time. But you play it on PlayStation, you're going to have the exact same experience as with Hogwarts. You're going to feel different haptic feedbacks. You're going to hear you're going to have a blaster firebolt go over your head, and you're going to feel it across your controller. You're going to feel the different tactile feedbacks through that the haptics, and you're going to feel and hear the sounds of your force powers through your controller yourself. The immersion that exists with something like that truly is the next gen experience that we're looking for as gamers who have spent upwards of thousands of dollars on TVs, consoles, and video games. And so if we're at a point now in gaming where it's like, well, who's really going to take the shot? This is where I was wrong. I said that Xbox was going to be the #1 console in 2023 because of the value that they offer. They have not been able to A, prove that they are going to offer a value, B, that they're going to stay consistent with their promises to offer that value, or even C, they're going to provide us with a game to play. They have been late on every single deadline. They have also been very under imaginative when it comes to interaction with gameplay. And lastly, they are banking on nostalgia, which I thought PlayStation was doing, but they're not. They're banking on nostalgia and a commitment to a console through Fanboy to sell and to be better than, and using and leveraging the fact that PlayStation is aggressive in protecting their IPs, that Nintendo is also somewhat aggressive. They are banking on the fact of making their competitors look like aggressors and that they are your friend to make gamers stay on their console. And at the end of the day, if we're to use just one criteria, where are the games? There is only one game system that can answer that call. And this is where I was wrong. I thought it was Xbox. It's not. Guys, we are now at a point in 2023 that if you want to play a lot of games, there are two consoles you need. You need a Nintendo Switch and you need a PlayStation 5.